The other day, I was scrolling through the vast and hellish depths of Reddit, and I came upon a post on the subreddit mildly infuriating. And this post pertained to somebody who had a plate on the back of their car which read private, not for commercial use. Basically, it was somebody who hadn't registered their car, who fights the right to travel battle. Instead of, you're not driving, you're traveling. Driving implies commercial capacity. Traveling implies moving personal property from one place to another. Now, I think those plates are a little silly. Okay, if you're gonna go without registering your car, just leave a plate off. I mean, you're only attracting more attention by putting something like that on. And I know that that's part of the allure of doing so, is that you get to try your hand with the cops, and good for them. But what really struck me were the replies. Everybody on Reddit labeled this person, seemingly wrongfully so, as a what do they call him? A sovereign citizen. So I'm gonna dwell on that for a minute. Sovereign citizen. That right off the bat is the same type of thing as calling somebody a conspiracy theorist. Sovereign citizens do not exist. If they do, they are the police. However, you cannot be simultaneously sovereign and a denizen of a city. Those are two mutually exclusive ways of being. And so right off the bat, we've got disinformation, misinformation, I guess, because people are largely uneducated about it. But what really, really, really struck me was how much vitriol exists for people who challenge authority. I don't understand it. Most of the people on that site come from a nation which they probably claim is a free country. I'd say everybody that's on that site thinks that their respective country is a free country. And the United States, we profess ourselves as the freest of all countries. And yet, when somebody dares to stand up to authority, somebody dares to stand up to licensing a right, they're derided and belittled. It doesn't make any sense. You people have no freedom in your heart. You are slaves, and you are slave-minded. And I think this is really just pathetic. I understand that you are too weak and too afraid to go against the status quo, and that's fine. We need good sheep like you. The world needs people like you so that, people can sell reality shows and stuff like that. I mean, who else is going to watch them if not for schmucks like you? But I don't get it. There should not be such vitriol. The problem arises when these same people likely think that 1776 was a blessing to our country, and then go shame modern people for doing the same type of thing. Now, not even the same type of thing. 1776, the Revolutionary War, was insanely bloody. And traveling, I'll use that guy's terminology, traveling without a license is completely victimless. You know what I think it is? I think you're afraid. I think you're afraid to stand up for yourself, and I think because of that you are intimidated by those who have the courage to do so. And because of that, you have to put them down. But what you don't realize is that you are Nazis. There's no difference between you and a Nazi sympathizer or, Nazi youth, there's not a single bit of difference. You people are just as brainwashed and just as dangerous as anybody who saluted Hitler. That's if you believe the official story, which I suggest you look into as soon as possible. It's fascinating. But shame on you people. Shame on you people. If somebody chooses to put themselves at risk, what do you think they gain from it? Do you think they're doing it for themselves? Do you think the guy with no license plate just says, oh, this is going to be really good for my day? No, it's principles, something that none of you have. All you folks have are orders, and you follow them. It doesn't matter if your orders are to harm somebody or if your orders are illogical. You follow the dictates of politicians, and I can't think of a more pathetic way to be. You follow so closely the dictates of people who hate you that you in turn hate people who stand up against those politicians. I don't think you understand the level of just mental and emotional degradation that you have gone through in order to have an outlook like that. You should be thanking everybody who stands up for your rights. Even if you think that license plates are, for some reason, let's say you think that they're really important. Yeah, man, I can't imagine anybody driving with a lot. Who cares? Who cares? Do you, boo? Get your license plate. Pay your $250 a year to use the property which you rightfully own. Get permission from a state that hates you to do an activity for which you have a right. I mean, but don't expect others to do the same. That's the thing. You expect everybody to fall in line like good little fucking Nazis. Not everybody likes to do that, Some people actually have courage in their heart and freedom in their heart and are willing to put themselves at risk to attain that freedom, not necessarily for themselves, but for their children, your children, my children, for the future, so that the next few generations don't suffer even the consequences of your cowardice. And that's really what it is. You have but a snapshot. And because you've always lived in that snapshot, you say, this is free. Having to get a driver's license to use roads which I have a right to use, that is freedom. That's the American way. But is it? Or is that just what you're used to? Because that's really what it is. You are just used to having to pay that tax, and because you're used to it, you can't understand anybody who doesn't. Again, pathetic. Pathetic. I don't know. I just think you all need to pull your heads out of your asses. I think any men who try and deride somebody for standing up against power, I think you need to reevaluate your masculinity. I don't think you wear it very well. And I hope you learn before it's too late, because here's what happens. You start out with ultimate freedom, and little by little, you let politicians whittle it away. And it happens in ways such as, first you have to register your car. Then you got to get a license to use your car. And then you got to pay tolls on the road to use the toll roads. And you see, little by little, your rights get stripped away from you. And the pathetic part is, you stand up for that. You stand up for them being taken. You are no countrymen of mine. I guarantee you, when push comes to shove, we will be on opposite sides of a barrel. And I mean a rain barrel, okay, YouTube, You know, I love rain barrels. I think it's wonderful to collect your own rainwater. But you people probably think that it's illegal to collect rainwater, and you stand up for that law. And you and I will be on opposite ends of that rain barrel. Do better. Do better for yourself, for your children, and for the future of this country, because this is not headed in a good way. I would much rather have 500,000 people driving without a license than 33 million following all the rules, just in a heartbeat. I would much rather have that. I would take dangerous freedom over safe tyranny any day of the week, and I think you should. I think you should consider it, but you know what? It's your comfort and cowardice that won't let you see that. Good on you.